whole tournament. I know you guys are all pretty tight, but I know there's got to be that one person that just you just want to beat every time you face them.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think. I guess I know me and Wesley G.
Yep.
Me and him have had some battles, and like we used to play like a lot of like money games or whatever, like $50 money games, like every day up until like 4 or 5 a.m. And so we played a lot of games this year in like tournaments and other stuff, and we definitely battled it out. So I guess that's like the one person I'd say that I want to beat every time.
Yeah, I mean, like, because like I know, like I don't want to say you guys hate each other because I know all you guys get along pretty well, but I know there's some bad blood that goes through some of you guys sometimes. I don't know if that ever fades away or how it goes, especially if I mean I watch some people get like their attitudes. Like I've seen young Kiv do it, like he just get up, won't shake somebody's hand, and like just be pissed off. I mean, do they ever come back and like shake their hand eventually, or is it just like that's how it is for the tournament?
Yeah,
Like it's like fuck off, whatever.
yeah. I mean, some people let their emotions get the best of them, and I feel like it's just like for most people, it's just in the game, and like after the game, they're fine, and and that's just how it is. But like some people, if you feel like you're just really mad after that game, and I don't know, some people let their emotions get the best of them, and they just I don't know, they're salty or whatever, and that's just what happens. But I feel like after a certain amount of time, they're fine. And they'll be okay.
So do you have a team picked out for 21 yet, or are you still working on that?
Like a Regs team.
Yeah, you have a Regs team picked out? Like since you got all these new drafts, or you gonna have to play first to really get your team?
It's kind of thing where like you got to know what teams have what players with certain abilities, and kind of see what works and see like really what the best team is. I want to use the Bucks because I just feel like they have so many good players that are gonna have abilities with like Brady and Mike Evans, Godwin. Like I feel like their offense is gonna be really fun to use. We'll see.
Yeah, the Bucks definitely have a crazy offense. I was like really like I thought they were gonna sign AB because they had
yeah, that would be insane.
They were talking about it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Could you imagine him going down there with all that talent? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm hoping that he goes to the Redskins. Like, I hope his head's on straight because he's been doing a lot of work with Haskins. So I was like, man, they're working so much together. They're building like that. They already have that nice little chemistry rocking out. I was like, so I'm hoping it happens. But so we have some questions in the chat. I'm going to scroll back through here and see if I can get some of them here. There's a bunch of them. He said, the one question we had is how do you feel about an 87 speed cornerback catching a 99 speed running back from behind when he's on the break?
I don't know. I mean, at least this year, I didn't really see that ever happen, just because how like pursuit was, and basically how the game works is if you got them on your back, I guess with the if you like flick down the right stick and get kind of a cut stick animation, well they're gonna get like the shoestring tackle every time. But in terms of like pursuit and tackling in this game, it was really hard to make tackles. So I don't know. I don't know about that one.
And then they have he had another one. He says, "Do you think the quick pass and accurate fed into the blitz meta?"
Oh, it definitely did because people are sending 8, 9 people, and you're trying to make a quick read, and you basically get punished for making the right read against like a 8, 9 man blitz, and you just get a quick throw and accurate, and yeah, it's bad. It's bad for the game when basically the game just favors these 8 man blitzes, 7 man blitzes with 3 deep blues, and you can't really attack it because you're getting pressure inaccurates, quick throw inaccurates. Your release is so slow. It's definitely a huge problem.
So Taryn he said he's not really exactly experienced in this game. He says he played in the past, but EA stuffed it full of things to purchase for real money, and he didn't want to pay for more than the game itself. He goes, "What do you guys think about that?" So basically, stuffing it in. I guess he's talking about the mutt packs and all that stuff to buy.
I guess maybe they can make the solo challenges like more worth it to where you can kind of grind the team without having to really spend money. I mean, that is what a lot of people do. That's what I used to do in like Madden 18 when I played Mutt. I was no money spent. I basically just got my coins weekend league and stuff. I feel like if you really grind the game, you can kind of do it. It's definitely really hard. It just depends how much time you put in. But you can.
Yeah, I think what sucks is I think what really gets down is like for the grinders is if they're not paying, they're not getting that card. They're not getting the new cards when they first come out. Like they're getting those cards.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge setback if you're not spending money. But that's just kind of how majority of video games, especially with kind of an ultimate team mode, is where it's just so easy to kind of have a system where you have to buy things, and that's just kind of that's the business. So it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and so they want to know if you weren't a pro player, what would you want to change on a fun level in the game? I guess.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I guess I don't know. I feel like playing all these runners in weekend league definitely is not fun. So maybe just make running bad, or just make everyone try to throw the ball, and that would be a lot of fun for me. I guess how the game plays.
Let's see, still scrolling. There's a way back up here. What do you think about the stretch and dive in the game?
I mean, I've seen it, played against it a million times, seen it a million times, won every tournament this year. So definitely sick of seeing stretch and dive all over the place. I'm just excited for moving on to Madden 21.
Let's see. What's going on? So, yeah, I mean, stretch and dive was just asking. Yeah. He said what he wants to know what you thought about it though. Like he wants to know what you thought about it.
I just think it's just a thing that doesn't require skill, where you're just calling the play and you're just everyone's getting blocked. The run sheds are really bad, like to where they're not going to shed really. Everyone gets blocked, and it just doesn't. I just don't think it takes as much skill as passing. There's just a huge. I feel like there's a huge skill gap in passing compared to running, where you're just praying for blocks pretty much.
Oh, you're talking skill gap now. Are you? I guess that's bringing people into the game that typically you wouldn't see on leaderboards and all that stuff like that with the way the run is.
There's been so many names on the leaderboards, and we're all like, "Have you played this guy? Who is this guy?" And then like people just say like he just runs every play. I'm like, "Oh, nice. He must be really good." Like just random person I've never heard before. That's why I lost to 2 people in clubs this year. I actually I lost in the club series for Cowboys. I lost to the first ever 10 cap quarterback, basically, where he was the first person to run every play with no quarterback. No one had ever seen it before, and I lost to him because it was just how the game played, and it was unfortunate. Where he had armbar when armbar was really good, where he had nasty streaks, had no quarterback, ran every single play, and it was too much.
Armbar was absolutely ridiculous at one point. Like it was, I remember. I think it was the very first. I guess that's the classic.
Yeah.
Where that's how Mo beat Henry, was because he came out the backfield and he caught him with an armbar and took it to the house.
No, actually, a story about the classic. A lot of people don't know about is Henry. Henry had run gun bunch the whole tournament. Had never really ran the ball ever, and I think it was, I forgot if it was against Kiv or like one of the rounds before, where I think Kiv won the first game or something like that.
Yeah, he had lost. He lost to him.
Yeah, he lost to him. He had they had a rematch, and Henry's like, I'm just gonna switch to the Oakland playbook and run the ball every play. And like he had never never done this before. He just saw Mo doing it and beating everyone. He's like, I'm just gonna run the ball, and sure enough, he beats Kiv.
Yeah, Kim was pretty hot after that one. I remember watching it. He got up, walked away. He was pretty pissed. He
It's
wouldn't
just
even.
you just like you just hop on, you just run the ball, and like he had never done it before, and he got to the top two, like just won a huge game, never running that scheme before, and that's just how the game was this year.
I mean, now I mean, you think that it being the game, we all know it was run heavy, but do you think it was just? Do you think Henry just realized that nobody else was doing it and he just jumped on it? Like he was
Yeah,
like Mo's
he-
eating with it. Like why not go with the same thing?
that's exactly what. Well, there were a lot of people that actually at that tournament that ran with the Cowboys, but I think Mo was definitely one that knew he knew a lot more at that time. He also had uh, the run defense, so the 818 crew like Mo, Kiv, Henry, all of them, they had edge blitz as their run defense at that tournament when no one else had it, which that was the best run defense at that tournament. So they had a huge advantage where they were running the ball and they had good run defense. So that was a big part of it. But there were a lot of people actually running the ball with the Cowboys at that tournament. I know Ghost got upset really early. He lost to some dude literally ran for 500 yards on him with the Cowboys. And he just could
Wow,
not stop it. Like ran for a touchdown every single play.
Jesus,
He talks about that story all the time.
that's got to be like demoralizing. And that kid probably didn't even go anywhere else after that. Like he just ate him alive.
Just complete random people at that tournament, just running the ball with the Cowboys, and it was probably like some locals too, because it was in Arlington, which is pretty close to Dallas, where people just literally showed up and chose their favorite team. The Dallas Cowboys had the armbar with Zeke and just ran the ball. It's just it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that I think that was probably one of the craziest tournaments though, because I mean you've seen what Drini got knocked out early. You had Skimbo get knocked out early. Like they all got knocked out pretty early. Like like there's a bunch of big names that got knocked out. I'm just like, yo, what is going on? And it's like we started seeing a new crew of kids come out, like yourself coming out, things like Henry coming out of nowhere, Mo finally getting back up there, and you see Noah come out. Like I mean, it was crazy just seeing the new faces coming into it all. Man, it was just wild to see these big names just get rocked.
Yeah, no, it was a really weird tournament. I don't even know, like everyone losing left and right, and just I lost to some random. I actually lost to a random guy who was running. He used the Eagles, and he was running this like it's like gun bunch open offset, and it was like this RPO that I've never seen before, and literally just I could not stop it. This dude put 40 on me, just running an RPO that I've
Jesus.
never seen before. It was really popular now, but yeah, no, I
I
beat good
imagine it's
players.
popular after somebody sees it.
Yeah, no, like
So it
if I
takes
beat
one
that guy,
person.
I would have been in such a better spot, like to potentially get way farther in that tournament. I mean, I got top 8, but I could have done a lot better if I hadn't lose to that guy. Just random
Yeah.
guy run some RPO I've never seen before.
You gotta put that in your arsenal after you see it.
Yeah, no, it was just unstoppable. Could
They
not do
said
anything.
so. They asked the question: do you think the same meta being dominant all year that the gameplay crew dropped the ball? So I guess what he's asking is, if with it being so run heavy, do you think they dropped the ball on that, like not balancing it out more?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they didn't. I feel like every patch helped the runners this year as well. Like except for when they patched armbar and jukebox. I mean, that was like that was probably the best patch this year.
You mean
I feel like,
Patch and Dickerson?
yeah, and that that was super wild. I just feel like the armbar patch should have came. That was literally something we complained about in the beta of
Yeah.
last year, and it was still in the game until literally December is when they patched it. And it's just crazy to think about that. It's just such a game-breaking thing that was never patched until after the second tournament of the year.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's like that was what I was hitting on earlier. Is that we got in like with EA? Are they really listening, or are they is it a real thing that they're getting pressure from the above people that pay them, so to say? Do do you think they really listen and want to do what you guys are complaining about and what you guys are? Hey, look, this thing is so OP. Like this thing is going to make a huge difference in the game to where you can't almost not stop it. Period.
Yeah, and that's definitely like a thing that we all think about is like, do they really want to make? Do they really want to have a skill gap, or do they really want little Timmy like being able to compete in games and spend more money on their MUT team or whatever it is, just to be able to compete in games and play the game a lot, just make people play Madden where they can compete with good players, and it's definitely a thing.
I mean, it's definitely going to be aggravating. Like being as good as you are, as good as most of you pros really are, that are there year in and year out. Like it's got to be aggravating that if I go in, I'm not, like I said, I'm a 16 win weekend league guy. Me going up against you, you're probably still going to beat my ass. But with it, with the way it is, I can keep it. I can keep up with you. Like,
yeah, especially with the run, like you can run the ball, you can control the clock, and that's what people do. In competitive Madden this year, they would run the ball, keep the game close because they're going to limit the possessions. They're running the ball, chewing the clock, and that was what it was this year. Just kind of just keeping people in games, even though like they just weren't as good as certain people. They would just find a way to steal games, just run until they break one.
And I mean, I don't know how much you get into this part of it, but like I also feel the game is already like it's one of those things that's already predetermined before you get in it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like when I play weekend league, I feel like I literally after like my first or second drive or like after their first drive, I'm like, this is one of those games where like
no matter what you do, you're gonna lose.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
No, like I mean, like, what do you feel about that? Do you like is that something like you guys talk to them about, or like you want to like hammer away at them? Like I know it's gotta like piss you guys off, like when you're in these games and you're trying to get up leaderboards and stuff like that, and that stuff's going on.
Yeah, it's just I just don't think it's something like even if you bring it up to them where like why is all this crazy stuff happening in my games where these lower tier players are like competing with me? I mean, like and people say like DDA or whatever, but like I just feel like EA will never like address that or anything. Like they're just gonna.
Now, do you think like now? I know you had to experience this because we've all experienced with like the DC glitches throughout the game. Like you'll be in a game, somebody will pause it, and boom, they'll be out of there, and you get the L for it. Now, how often like do you experience that with like in these leaderboard, and do they do anything about it?
Luckily, like I haven't had the biggest. I mean, it's happened very few times this year, but like luckily, I haven't really experienced that as much. I know there used to be a DC glitch, like I think a couple years ago. I don't think I was here for it. But especially with leaderboards and stuff, where like last day when you're trying to grind or like get to a certain spot, leaderboards and people just DC glitch you, and it's rough, and they literally can't do like they usually don't do anything about that. Where you're kind of helpless in those situations. They're not gonna move your rank up, and they're just gonna say like you can't do anything.
Now, yeah, but can't that cause you? That can cause you guys though. That can cause you guys to be knocked down, right? Like if you lose that, you get knocked out of a tournament, and they can't. They tell you they can't help you.
Yeah, basically with like leaderboards. I mean, they can do like audits and stuff. What they'll do is they usually try to ban people that will like boost or give free wins to each other, and that's really what they'll audit. But about DC glitching, I haven't seen any like cases where people have gotten banned or like moved up into the rankings where because they got DC glitched or anything. I haven't heard much about that.
And that would like that would piss me off. Like if I'm in there and I'm grinding my ass off and I need one or two wins and to be in it, and then somebody glitches you out of it, like when the thing closes and you miss out because some dude's like, oh well, fuck them, I'm getting them.
Yeah.
Like That's money that people like that. Like to me, I'd be arguing. Like I'd really be out of it. Like that's money that you guys lose out, a chance to lose out on. I mean, like you got to. That's what you guys do. Some of you guys are trying to make a living from it. I mean, it's really not possible with the money that you guys make right now off of it for somebody to live and be comfortable.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing. Luckily, we haven't had any much like situations like that where they're like DC glitching. At least for me, like in the last 2 years. But that's if that happened, that would be a big problem. And if people were to like get kicked off of the leaderboards for that, it would be a huge issue, especially like they when they just say they can't do anything about it.
And I mean, that's it. Kind of sounds like that's what they. It sounds like it's a trend with EA right now is that oh, it's all words and there's no action, and like I don't know. I don't understand it how a multi-billion-dollar company can't make things right. So to say, I guess you want to put it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
They
I
that
mean, now
especially with FCS.
do you feel the game is geared? It's more geared to the casual more than it is you guys.
Yes, I would say. I just feel like there should be a separate like when you say when you have Mutt and like Salary Cap, it's
Mm-hmm.
really on the same. It's really the same mode. Even though it's just the difficulties are switched where Mutt is on All Pro and like Salary Cap's on All Man. I'd like to see like a dedicated like competitive mode where you can kind of tune different rules or whatever, and have it like different from Mutt to where um, you can like just like tune certain things, and that's really what I would like to see.
Now, when you get into that competitiveness, I mean, would you like not to like um see X factors and all that stuff in it, like just play straight up football?
Well, I feel like the game is. I guess now the game is meant to be played with abilities, and like I just feel like when you have certain like quarterbacks without abilities, they're like they really can't even if you have a fast player like Lamar, like if you're trying to roll out or scramble, he's so slow if you don't have a escape artist. And that's what I'm talking about when like the game is meant to be played with abilities, even though a lot of them are unbalanced. It's just how the game is. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's like it's just to me like it gets mind blowing to me. It really does, is because the amount of time that I know some of you guys put into this thing to have a chance at winning money, and that's the key word, chance at winning money, because you're not guaranteed money unless you get in a certain spot or in certain tournaments. Like you might be guaranteed something, but most of it you're not guaranteed unless you're in like a higher like you get into the higher a higher bracket or you're already set like you're gonna finish top five or whatever it is that they pay through. That's my thing is with like is how can't this company produce for you guys? You know what I mean? You guys are strictly putting this game out. You're playing the game more than most people. You're promoting it for free, and they're not paying you to promote the damn thing.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to see like a higher like prize board or just something where they're telling us like we care about competitive men because right like they really haven't changed anything other than like minor changes to the format like the past couple years. They haven't really upped the prize pool crazy or just made like a dedicated mode to competitive Madden. I just feel like they're not taking that like next step that they need to take. Like
Now, do you think
how the 2K League did it.
now do you think there's a reason why they don't take that next step, or do you think it might be coming?
I don't know. I don't know if they have like a contract or something that where they have to do it a certain way until like whenever. Um, I'm just
Yeah.
hoping they can kind of
I
take
mean,
that.
like getting into 2K. I mean, 2K has the 2K League, dude. That thing is freaking amazing. Like when you get into it, to see it'd be kind of cool to see you guys get drafted to like teams and stuff like that and play. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, and that's because they basically partnered with the NBA, the 2K League, 2K and NBA basically partnered up and created an actual league, and like I know the NFL is doing stuff with Madden where they have the club series where you're representing a team and stuff like that. But I don't think they're like 100% involved in that. Um, where I feel like if you truly got the NFL involved, it would be a lot bigger, a lot more
Oh
promotion.
yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I agree 100%, and I think I think it would be freaking fantastic to see it happen.
Yeah.
Your code should be in your thing now. I just got my code.
Oh, codes are out.
Either
Let's see.
codes are out, baby. So since he wants to go play the game, I want to play the game. We're gonna wrap it up, and we're gonna let him go play the game and get to work, and hopefully get us a better game come the release of the game. Because his word's louder than my word, probably because he's a pro. I'm not a pro. But I appreciate you coming on and doing this. This is really fun getting to know you, what your thoughts are on the game, and where you want this game to go.
Yeah, I mean, appreciate you having me on. I do love like talking about Madden. I feel like I'm really passionate about it. And yeah,
Yeah, I mean, my community loves this because like some of these guys are new to the scene in the MCS. We had a bunch of guys that were new to it, and I'm like, they're like, "What's the MCS?" I was like, "Where they play, bro? That's like where you see the best of the best played out and bang out." And so, like I said, every time an MCS tournament's on, we host it right here on the channel. So we're always watching you guys. That's how some of these guys get to know you. They knew who you were before coming in. Like I said, I appreciate it. If you got any of your other friends you want to get involved with this, send them my way so we can keep it going and getting you guys more recognition and getting you guys some more love out there for the community to get to know you.
Yeah, I know we had J Wall and I know D Cross going on here soon.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We have Civil coming too. Civil will be on. He's actually going to be next Saturday.
Gotcha.
He's going to be a Saturday when we're not going to do a Thursday night show because he works a weird schedule or something like that and couldn't get off in time or something. Like the show would have been like super late at night. So I was like, well, let's do it 1 o'clock Saturday. But guys, make sure you guys look for the video. The video will be going up. I'll probably segment it out. It'll probably go in 3 parts. It'll be 20 minutes each. That way you guys makes it a little bit easier for you guys to watch. His links will be in the description. If you have anybody you want to shout out, because I know you guys just put the crew together and got your own little name and all that stuff going now. So hopefully everybody goes far this year and accomplishes what they want to accomplish.
Yeah, we just probably like TNC to Madden Crew, and we basically just announced we have like there's 16 of us now. Even though
16 of you. Holy.
Yeah, it's split between like consoles and stuff, but it's a lot of us, and we all are in one Discord.
Who's the new signees? I don't know who the new guys are. I knew you, J Wall, D Croft, Civil, all those, and that was it. That's all I knew.
So now we have Madster Gamer, we have Spoto.
Ooh, there's a nice one.
Have Don't Care About Ice. We have Golden Glover. He made the LCQ event this year, and then K Dillon. He's a little bit younger. He's like 16, so he's kind of a he's kind of our G League developmental player that we're kind of labbing up. But I think he's really good. And there's a lot of us. We've kind of been labbing, like, even though they weren't a part of the crew, we've kind of been like this year we've been labbing together. So we kind of just made it official to kind of have them in the crew.
So before I let you, I got one last question. Who's the best in the crew?
We're being real. D Croft did the best this year out of all of us. So,
but is he the best? Is he the best?
In the MCS, he is the best. I kind of had his number though, in like the Mudhead FNF tournament. But at least on the biggest stage, he's been the best out of all of us for sure.
That's dope. That's dope. I thought you were gonna say, "Of course I am." I like it. I like the humbleness. But yeah, man, like I said, I appreciate you stopping in. I'm gonna go load this code and give these guys some feedback as you're gonna load the code and do the same thing. I hope you enjoy
Yep.
your night. Like I said, if you got anybody from the crew that you think is like gonna be like super up and coming, or you want to get them exposure, whatever, get them known, send them my way. We'll get them on.
All right, we'll do.
Thank you very much, sir.